Los Angeles International Airport, better known as LAX, is the 5th busiest airport in the United States, and the only airport in the entire country to be a hub for all 3 legacy carriers. And now, after decades of planning and speculation, LA Metro trains finally started serving the airport this year, ending one of the biggest transit gaps in the greater Los Angeles region. But just how useful is this service when the trains don't go downtown or all the way to the terminal, and when both the trains and the shuttles to the airport wind up surrounded by LA traffic? The only way to find out is to go for a ride. LA Metro station serving LAX is located to the east of the airport and is served by 2 lines. The K line from Redondo Beach to Expo Crenshaw with connections to the E line at the latter station, and my ride for tonight, the C line from Norwalk to the airport station with connection to the A line at Willowbrook Rosa Parks, where we begin at the bottom level, stepping off the northbound A line from Long Beach, where a few friends are leaving me. More about this in a future video. So, I am at Willowbrook Rosa Parks station on LA Metro. The train had just got off. The A line goes to downtown LA. The train I'm about to get on, the C line, does not. It is a crosstown, I guess you would call it, sort of route. On the station's mezzanine, we find yellow tactile strips, put in place to guide visually impaired passengers through the complex. You'll also notice that all the fare gates are open tonight. That's because I filmed this on the opening weekend of the A-Line's new stations in the San Gabriel Valley. But like I said, this will be a future video. The stairs take us up to a common LA site, a freeway. Most of the C-Line is built down the median of Interstate 105, making it, unusually for an LA light rail, entirely grade separated. Markings on the platform show where to board for the airport, a really helpful touch. However, I don't know when my train to LAX is coming. The display board is just showing warning signs, and while I didn't catch it on camera, I did see it display this message at least once. Thankfully, there is a train, a 2-car train of Kinky Chariot P3010s, the newest generation of light rail cars on LA Metro. The train pulls into the station, and despite my standing where it says to board for the airport, the train blows right past me and I have to walk down to the rear car to board. Wikipedia states that most C-Line trains are 1 to 2 cars, while the platform signage seems to be built for 3 cars, so it might be helpful for LA Metro to include signage indicating the lower train lengths. We take off down the highway, soon arriving at Harbor Freeway Station. This complex features an interchange between the C-Line and the J-Line BRT, sandwiched inside a much larger freeway interchange, perhaps the best example of LA's transit ambitions coexisting with their overwhelming car dependence. Interstate 105, also known as the Century Freeway, runs from Norwalk to near LAX. It was a later addition to LA's freeway network, as its design was hotly contested, due in no small part to its planned route through largely minority communities, as well as environmental concerns. Pushback against the freeway eventually resulted in a federal lawsuit being filed in 1972. This led to a consent decree in 1979, which contained elements such as noise protection, below-grade construction, housing for those displaced, and room in the freeway's median for rapid transit. Also, fun fact, that crazy interchange we saw earlier is named after Judge Harry Pregerson, who presided over the lawsuit. Construction on the C-Line, known as the Green Line until 2020, began in 1987, but trains didn't originally reach LAX, as there were concerned about overhead wires interfering with planes' flight paths, as well as worries about routing commuters through the airport on their way to work. While the views out the window of the train are mostly cars, our median right-of-way allows for higher speeds. Indeed, the C-Line has the highest average speed of LA's 4 light rail lines at 34.4 miles per hour, as well as a maximum speed of 65 miles per hour. The trip from Rosa Parks to LAX station takes 22 minutes, about the same as driving with a little traffic. At long last, we disentangle ourselves from the freeway and stop at Aviation Imperial Station. At one time, riders would disembark here for a shuttle bus to LAX, and C-Line trains would continue on to Redondo Beach. However, with the introduction of the K-Line in 2022, and the opening of the LAX Metro station in 2025, the K-Line now operates the segment to Redondo Beach, and C-Line trains instead curve up and terminate at LAX.
The next stop is Aviation Century Station, connecting with Metro K-Line to Expo Crenshaw, the same side of the boarding platform, and the Metro K-Line to Redondo Beach on the other side of the boarding platform. This is a Metro C-Line train.
I love how they say where the connections are going to be. Not a lot of transit agencies are that clear on that. We run alongside airport buildings and down into a trench, which takes us past the ends of the runways, keeping the overhead wires safely out of the way of landing planes. before passing alongside a cargo facility and rolling into Aviation Century Station, which opened in 2024. Then, at long last, we're pulling into the airport station, which just opened last May. All right, we have made it to LAX, Metro Transit Center. A K-Line train departs for Redondo Beach, and the stairs to the mezzanine are plastered in ads for an airline I wish I was flying tonight instead of Frontier. Helpful markers on the platform and mezzanine floors point me towards the airport terminal. One day, hopefully next year, an automated people mover will whisk passengers from here to the airport terminals, as well as serving parking and rental car facilities. And we can even see the people mover platforms from the mezzanine. So I believe in the future this is where the LAX people mover will pick you up and take you to the airport. But for now, I'm gonna have to get on a bus. Okay, I need to stop stopping to take shots because there's a bus boarding right now. If I miss it, I don't know how long it is until the next one. Ooh, more tactile strip. This tactile strip leads right up to the bus. The shuttle sets out for the airport, blasting tunes the whole way. We roll down Aviation Boulevard and turn onto Century. From here, we can catch glimpses of the People Mover viaduct flying above us. I'm really excited for the People Mover because here's another thing that a People Mover can do that a shuttle bus can't: not get stuck in traffic. Indeed, it takes several minutes just to plow through the airport's entrance and reach Terminal 1, where I'm checking in for my flight. So, is LA's air rail connection any good? I would have to say, partially. The Sea Line uses smaller trains than, say, SEPTA, BART, or even Lynx airport lines, and all of those systems have trains direct to their cities' downtowns. I also can't say I was a fan of the traffic noise at Willowbrook Rosa Parks, and I'm a little concerned about the air quality there as well. But Interstate 105 does allow the Sea Line to hit faster average speeds than other light rail lines on the metro system. The airport station is clean and modern, and once the People Mover opens, I anticipate the air-to-rail transfer to be quite smooth. Still, I think the greatest thing about LAX's new rail connection is how many places now have a one-seat ride to the airport. Sure, downtown doesn't get one, but they still have an express bus. And besides, Greater Los Angeles is huge and a bit more decentralized than your Seattles or your Philadelphias. Communities along the C and K lines are now linked to flights and jobs at LAX like never before. And places like Long Beach or Santa Monica now have two-seat rides to the airport without needing to connect through downtown, take a slower local bus, or splurge on an Uber. But what do you guys think? Have you ever used this air rail link, or would you want to? Let me know in the comments below. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters for flying me to California, and I will see you all next week when I'm hopefully a little less congested. Alright, I am in the airport now to eat my soup I've been carrying around for hours, and then go through security and get on my plane and sleep.